Hi! I just got done watching the Super Mario Brothers movie. So, here I am to give my thoughts on it, I suppose. Yeah, no fancy stuff, no fun editing stuff, no like clips or anything because Illumination will copyright claim me. Just me, and maybe some music in the background. I guess I should like go over like my thing. I guess my like history with Mario first. I was gonna say didn't really grow up with Mario, but like I was introduced to Mario at a young age. Like the first game I ever played was Mario Kart Double Dash. So he's been like that was in like 2006. So I've known of Mario for like most of my life, but I didn't really start playing video games that often until like 2009 or so. That's when we got our Wii. It was like Mario Kart Wii. Later played New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and the rest is history. And that's also why I have Ludwig as my profile picture. So I've been like following this movie for a while. I remember when it was first like announced that, oh, Nintendo's gonna like make a Mario movie. Like they announced it like back in like 2016. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then 2017 is like, oh, it's gonna be made by Illumination. And I was like, damn it. I don't really like Illumination. They, their first movie, the first sequel movie was good. And then after that, they realized, hey, we can make some quick and easy money by appealing to the lowest common denominator. And so all their movies afterwards have been ranged from like mediocre to just terrible. Their Dr. Seuss adaptations were really bad. I did not like those. They just kept turning out Despicable Me and Minions movies, and like the novelty is worn off at this point. And Sing, Secret Life of Pets. Name 5 people who care. Okay, actually don't. So when I heard they were making the Mario movie, I was like, no! Because they are like the most creatively bankrupt major studio in the animation. Like, DreamWorks and Sony are not perfect, but they've put out some like awesome movies before. And like, why not just go with like one of them? It's like, I mean, obviously it's because like Universal, the people who are making the Nintendo theme parks, own Illumination, but they also own DreamWorks, and DreamWorks does great stuff. I mean, they just released Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is an amazing movie. Well, from what I've heard, I haven't seen it yet. I will do so soon. And then like we heard nothing for a long time after that, until like the September Nintendo Direct of 2021, where they announced the cast, and like when like Miyamoto showed up, I was like, oh, is he gonna announce like a new Mario game? Like they're saying, oh, hey, we're talking about the Mario movie, and I was like, oh, that's still a thing. It's like, oh, it's the voice cast, and well, we all know how well that went. I was just sort of like, what? Like, Chris Pratt as Mario was easily the biggest what the hell thing. I thought that was a really dumb decision, because, like, Charles Martinet is right there. I mean, they even said he was going to be in the movie as surprise cameos. And, well, we now know who those cameos are. And like, all the other voice cast choices were, I thought, alright, I guess. There's obviously the argument about, like, you know, A-list Hollywood celebrities being in, like, big animated movies, you know, taking stuff away from, like, I guess, voice actors, though there are some in the movie. Kari Payton, a cyborg from Teen Titans, is the Penguin King. But I was also just like, this movie's just gonna be one giant meme. Like, the cast list did not excite me. And then we had to wait like another year for like the first like actual teaser. And that whole thing, I was still in like total what the hell mode. Hold on, let me adjust that camera a bit. Is that better? That's better. We had Chris Pratt come on, and Well, that was incredibly awkward. You know, man, I spent hours of my life stomping Koopas. That was fun. Jack Black was, of course, much better composed. I mean, Jack Black is just amazing in everything, so I had confidence in him. And then we saw the trailer, and I was like, huh, the animation actually looks pretty decent. Because that's the other thing with Illumination, like, their movies are made way cheaper than something like DreamWorks or Pixar. And you can really tell that because, like, especially the lighting in their movies is very super artificial. Like, everything looks like it's the studio lit, and it does not look very good. The trailer for the Mario movie, and I guess the whole movie in general, has a much better, more natural lighting system than, like, their other movies. And I wondered about it because Nintendo was able to, like, throw some extra money at them to get them to do it. Yeah, we got Bowser showed up, and it was alright. And Kamek. By the way, this isn't really spoilers, because this is that trailer is essentially the first scene in the movie. Bowser attacking the Penguin Kingdom. And, it plays out mostly identically, though in the movie, Kamek levitates some stairs for Bowser to get it, and the line he says is slightly different. But then, like, the trailer continues and we saw Chris Pratt's voice, and I was like, huh, that's not exactly his voice, but it doesn't sound like Mario. Like, and not even just like Charles Martinet, because I also watched like those dumb Mario cartoons. And those were really bad, but like they have their charm. It sounds mostly like Chris Pratt, but not really. And I was like, this doesn't really work. And then, like a month or two passed, and we got to see the second trailer, which is more of an actual trailer, because the first thing was just like, you know, a scene from the movie. And that's when we saw, like, Princess Peach and Donkey Kong, and a little bit of Cranky Kong. Oh, yeah, Toad is there too, using the first trailer as well. Luigi's there, and, like, that gave me more confidence in it, but still, I was still wary because of both the track record of Illumination and video game movies. Which isn't great. And then, like, we got to see more promotional stuff. My favorite one was the commercial, which used the Super Mario Bros. Super Show rap. You know, we're the Mario Brothers and Plummets, a game, which is also in the movie. It happens exactly where you expect it to happen. Like, everyone on the internet predicted exactly where it would be. And that had a real sight. That was really funny. With, like, you know, fake reviews of, like, one of them was Spike. You know, Sebastian Maniscalco's character, who's from Wrecking Crew. How many people in the audience are going to get that? I feel like most people, even a lot of big Nintendo fans, are going to think Spike is an original character. That was fun. And then we got, like, the last trailer, which had Rainbow Road and Bowser insulting Spinies. And, yeah, that was it. So overall, I was like, alright, you've given me some confidence, but I'm still nervous. So I went to the movie theater today. I'm like, this will probably be a perfectly middle of the road movie. It's probably not going to be awful, but it's definitely not going to be as bad as the old Super Mario Brothers movie. But I worried about, I guess, the lack of having a lack of character, because that's what Illumination movies do. I was hopeful Nintendo would be able to give them some more character, but, you know, they're also not super great with, like, their Mario plots, especially in, like, the last year, where they've been, like, deliberately trying to, like, simplify the plots of, like, the Paper Mario games, which has made that fan base very unhappy. So, and then I watched it, and, well, I'll cut to the chase, and, I had fun. I like it about as much as, like, the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie. it's a fun movie, but like, you know, as a movie, it's not particularly great. Like I guess I'll do a spoiler discussion like later, where I can actually talk about stuff that happens. So I'll just go on the main points. I guess I'll start with the voice acting because that's what everyone was talking about. Thought it was fine. Like I wasn't impressed with like Chris Pratt initially, but like watching the movie, I'm like, this feels pretty natural. The accent he had kind of went in and out, similar with Charlie Day's Luigi, but not as noticeable. But you know, he delivered his lines pretty well. It's nothing outstanding, but you know, it's fine. Charlie Day's Luigi works pretty well. I figured he would when I saw the casting, but like, there's a difference between like seeing a cast list and then actually watching for yourself, and he is pretty fun. Jack Black as Bowser is of course like the best one. Like he gets to show off full villain mode, though there are some lines where he just sort of, his voice just turns into regular Jack Black, like when he goes, "I do not." Like that sounds a bit too much like normal Jack Black and without much of the Bowser. Also, there are some points in the movie where like Bowser roars, and it's one of Kenny James's roars from the games, and that does not match the Bowser voice. I thought it was funny. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong actually works pretty well. Of course he does the stupid little and like, yeah, that made me roll my eyes a bit. But otherwise, he works for that kind of character. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, works pretty well. I'm feeling a lot of people are going to prefer his Toad to like Sam Kelly's in the games because it's not. I'm not saying he should be like the permanent voice of Toad. They should stick with the people they have now. But yeah, it was a good Toad voice. Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek. That was strange, but it works for how kooky and weird Kamek is. You know, wow, he kind of sounds like he's got a sinus ingestion or something, or whatever it's called. Very different from his usual roles. Usually, Kevin Michael Richardson is very deep, and you know, he down here, because he's the current voice of Dr. Hibbert in The Simpsons. And if I remember, no, I was gonna say, is he the Rhino guard in like Kung Fu Panda? But I was like, no, that's Kevin Michael Richardson. No, what the? No, Kamek's Michael Richardson. The Rhino prison guard in Kung Fu Panda is Michael Clark Duncan. I confuse the two sometimes. About the only two that I was sort of on was Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong. The voice he had was fine, but it doesn't really. I don't think it matches either the character design or the attitude. Like, I expect Cranky Kong to sound like, you know, a jittery old man, you know, get off my lawn. You know, kind of like that. And the other is, Anya Taylor-Joy is Peach. Anya Taylor-Joy is a great actress. But I feel like the kind of voice she used for Peach is a little too low. Like, I know Peach's very high voice in the games might get on some people's nerves. But I'm like, you can find a middle ground for there. Like, I feel like, I was gonna think of another voice actress, but like I couldn't think of one. I feel like her voice fits Pauline more, which Pauline is in the movie for like 20 seconds. She's on a TV screen. I don't know who does the voice. But yeah, that's what I have to say about the voice acting. Oh yeah, Charles Martinet is in the movie. He plays like two characters. I will talk about those in like the spoiler review or spoiler video or whatever I want to call it. Move on to the visuals next. Visuals are very pretty. like I said before, much better lighting than Illumination's other movies. There's a lot more detail in them, I noticed. Much more unique character models, because the other thing about Illumination, they copy-paste characters a lot. Like, and it's super noticeable. Like, I remember there's one scene in Sing, which, if you saw, like, I Hate Everything's video on Sing, you definitely know what I'm talking about. But there's, like, a scene where, like, they're painting across a bunch of animals, and they use, like, the same crocodile model, like, 6 times. Like, come on. There's still some copy-paste, especially in, like, the Kongs. Like, I remember there's, like, one scene where there's, like, 2 funky Kongs driving next to each other. Like, come on. And, of course, the Toads, though, to be fair, Nintendo is equally guilty with, you know, copy-pasting Toads, especially in Paper Mario, when they used to look unique, but they're not allowed to anymore. But yeah, the character designs are very nice. I was a little skeptical, like, looking at the artwork, like, of Mario. Like, I thought that looks kind of off, but, like, in motion, all this works. Bowser is, like, the only one who feels slightly off in his animation. Like, I feel like some of his physics don't really show how, like, heavy he should be. Like, I feel like he moves around a bit too jittery for, like, someone of his size sometimes. Whatever. It's a pretty small point. I'll talk about, like, the characters now. Like, you know, characterization. Like, I like how they characterized, I really like how they characterized Mario. I was worried that they were going to, like, have Mario be like this, you know, arrogant, you know, I can do no wrong. Leave me alone, everybody. I'm the best kind of character that, like, you see in a lot of animated movies. And then, oh, they have to learn a lesson. Oh, no, this feels like Mario. He's very nice, friendly, you know, confident, and maybe a bit overconfident in his abilities sometimes. But he's always genuinely wants to help people. Like, there's one scene, like, when they're walking through Toad Town, and, like, a Toad drops his coin, Mario just picks him up and hands it right back to him. And, like, yeah, that's Mario. That's something he would do. Luigi, yeah, it feels like Luigi. I don't really have that much to say on him, honestly. Bowser, yeah, definitely Bowser. They try to find a balance between him being menacing and also funny. And I feel like sometimes it doesn't always land. But, you know, it mostly does. I mean, Bowser in general in the games is flip-flops so much between, like, you know, big, serious, menacing threat and something like Super Mario Galaxy. And then in Mario Sunshine, he's in a bathtub going, Mario, how dare you disturb my family vacation? Sorry, that was not good. Donkey Kong is, of course, you know, the hot-headed, I'm the strongest, and I don't want your help, Baka. Okay, he doesn't say that. That'd be really funny if he did, but, you know, I'm not going to. It's good move. Don't make him say that. Do not make him say that ever. Toad is, you know, yeah, woo, I'm Toad. That's not it. He's more determined, than usually. I figured, like, they got Michael Key as him. I thought he'd be, like, you know, more comic relief, and there is some of that. But he's more serious than I imagined he would be. That's actually a theme, like, for this movie. I'm gonna talk about this later when we're done with all the characters. Kamek, Cranky Kong, Spike, yeah, they're about what you would expect. Peach is, I'm of two minds of this. On the one hand, my biggest concern with Peach was that they were going to, like, what's the word? Like, over-actionize her into being, like, the stereotypical, like, girl boss. The strong female character that a lot of, like, marketing teams think will work, but the character has, like, no personality to back it up, so the character just ends up being really boring. Peach is not like that in this movie. But there are some times when she's like so acrobatic and kicks so much butt that I'm just like, why does she need help? I mean, I'm really glad they don't go with the tired old, oh, Peach is kidnapped by Bowser. I mean, she gets captured, but like, it's more of a surrender than like getting captured. Let's be honest, we've all been sick of Peach getting kidnapped by Bowser in the games for like close to 40 years now. My God. You know what? You know, the next Mario game, the plot is still going to be Peach gets kidnapped by Bowser, go save her. That's going to be the plot. I'm counting it. But like Peach, there's the one you know, the scene from the trailer where like Mario's going through the obstacle course. Peach goes through that too, and she she does a bunch of these action-y flips and stuff, and I'm like, what? I thought it'd be neater if she like moved more like she does in the games, like, you know, like I guess more like, I guess princessy, like more dainty and light. Like she does float a bit at the very end, but I wish she like moved it more like Peach. Like that honestly would have made her like honestly cooler, because like, oh, it's this like the prince. She's like still moving around like a fairy tale character, and she's still like passing through all these crazy challenges. I think that would have been like both more impressive and funnier. But yeah, Peach's personality, she is. I like that she's like very generally accepting of Mario. Like she doesn't go, huh, you're not a hero or anything. Like she lets him do these like challenges to like, she's like, all right, if you can pass through this, you can come with me. And like this goes through multiple days, and she still lets him keep trying. Like she doesn't like say, okay, stop. She's a very understanding. And I think I really like the Mario Peach dynamic in this movie, where they're like, they're just very nice to each other. It's nice to see like these characters that aren't just like bickering all the time, because that's something that's like really annoying. And I also like how it's mostly just platonic. There's a little bit of like light teasing, like there may be a little something going on there, but like there's nothing like actually like romantic actually happening. Maybe in the sequel, I don't know. Because, you know, all the Mario games, like, they always end, like, after you rescue Peach, she, like, gives you a kiss on, like, the nose. Or bends down, like, a foot in front of your face. But yeah, there's nothing like that here. And you know what? That's fine. I guess, if I gotta go into, like... Okay, let me go over my biggest problem with the movie, and it's that, as the trailers show, Luigi gets captured, and he gets captured fairly early on into the movie. I want to say, like, about half an hour in, and he just stays, like, in Bowser's prison for, like, 80% of the movie. Sorry. And the reason I find this disappointing is that, well, for one, it's called the Super Mario Brothers movie. I want to see, like, Mario and Luigi on an adventure together. But it's also, like, obviously, like, they made Luigi, like, the one who needs saving instead of Peach. To, like, subvert the damsel in distress thing. And also because that has happened. Luigi has been captured by Bowser multiple times before. Like, Super Mario 3D Land. Like, in the first special world, you have to save Luigi from one of Bowser's castles. And that's how you unlock him as a playable character. Unfortunately, and this is really a shame, because Luigi is... I really like the dynamic between Mario and Luigi. Like, again, Mario is really supportive of Luigi. And, like, they just seem like such nice brothers. Like a lot of like brother dynamics in movies. There's often a lot of animosity to them. But not here. They're like just super. It's really wholesome, and I really enjoy that. It's just they're just not on screen together that often, which is a real shame. Like not even that much in the climax. And yeah, that is sort of my biggest like issue with the movie as like a movie. I guess the other thing is that, yeah, I guess like there isn't much of a plot, kinda. I mean, like, it's Mario. You don't really need much. Like, the games are again just Bowser kidnaps Peach. Go run through these 8 generic biomes to get her. But I feel it. But since this is a movie and doesn't really have, you know, the game part to back it up, I feel like you could have done a bit more with like the story. I feel like the character, there isn't that much character growth in the movie. Like, obviously Mario improves his physical skills, but like his personality he doesn't really go through a character change. Like, none of the characters really do. Except Luigi, like, at the very end, and I don't think that was, like, super earned. I'll talk about it in, like, the spoiler section again. But, yeah, I wish there was a bit more effort, like, going into, like, the story part of the story. Writing's okay. I didn't really laugh much in this movie. There were a couple of times where I went, peh, at like some of the lines, but like the jokes weren't all that funny in my opinion. They weren't total groaners, except for one, Donkey Kong at one point, when he's about to fight Mario, he goes, "It's on like Donkey Kong!" Yeah, they do that reference. And I just groaned. I was like, oh, come on. Yeah. It's like when Sonic went Gotta Go Fast in the Sonic movie. At least the first one. And I was just like, really? Why do you gotta do that? He doesn't even say that in the games. Like, Sonic never says gotta go fast in the games. I don't think he ever said that ever, actually. That's from the opening, that's the first line of the Sonic X theme song. And there's never, and no character has ever said it's on like Donkey Kong in a Mario or a Donkey Kong game. Overall, yeah, writing's alright. I'll talk about the music. So the music was, for the most part, great. Because it's mostly Mario songs. Most animated movies have very generic animated scores. Like every Illumination movie. I don't remember a single piece of music from their scores. Even like Pixar, Disney, DreamWorks, like unless they're going for like a style like Kung Fu Panda's like old Chinese music and The Incredibles like jazzy superhero stuff, I don't remember it. But here they like do like awesome like orchestrated versions of like Mario themes. I caught like themes from like obviously the original Mario 3. I remember there's the P-Switch theme, the Hammer Brothers theme, the Airship theme. Super Mario World, we got the opening, the Overworld theme. Mario 64, I heard, like, Bob-omb Battlefield. They used the Super Mario Bros. Theme a lot. DK Island Swing from Donkey Kong Country plays when they first show up in the Kong world. And there's more, but I want to save them for the spoiler section. But yeah, it was great. Brian Tyler, you did a good job. I kind of want to see some of these remixes pop up in like Smash Brothers now. You know how they got music from Final Fantasy VII Advent Children into like the Sephiroth DLC for Smash Ultimate. I kind of want to see these. The part of music I really didn't like was when they put in a bunch of like, you know, 80s songs because hey, Mario's from the 80s. And I was like, yep, that's Illumination showing. I don't like when movies just use a bunch of like already existing like pop songs and just put them in the movie, especially since they don't really fit. Like, this isn't a spoiler because no one's gonna care. Why is I Need a Hero in this movie? I like the song. It's like the only song in this movie. It's like the only like pop song in this movie, or like any movie I do like. But like, why is it here? Every single time one of those songs played, and there's like 4 or 5 of them, it took me out of the movie. I mean, I guess like Illumination doesn't really want to write like original songs. The only time they really done that was in the Lorax, and those songs were terrible. I mean, there was one amazing one, but that didn't make it into the movie. But yeah, that's the songs. I'll talk about the references when we get to the spoiler video. So I'm gonna stop here for now. Overall, this was a fun movie. I don't think it's particularly great. The Rotten Tomatoes score is sitting at a 56 right now. I think it's higher than that, but not too awful much higher. Like, I give this like a solid 6 out of 10. It's alright for a movie. As a Mario fan, I was much more pleased. There was a ton of references, which again I'll talk about later. Love the music. And go see. So I do want you guys to go see this movie, especially if you're a Mario fan. Part of it because if you're a Mario fan, you'll have a lot of fun, and part of it's just so we can make more money than Minions, so we can prove that Mario is better than Minions, because Mario is better than Minions. I will say though, if you're not super familiar with Mario, like if you're not familiar with like a lot of these references, if you're not familiar with how things in the Mario games work, you might be confused. Yeah, and you're probably just gonna look at it as a regular movie and not be all that impressed. Like I said it about Spike. Like, most people are just gonna think he's an original character, since he hasn't appeared since Wrecking Crew back in 1984. And I feel like a lot of people are gonna be confused at a lot of these like references, which again I'll go into later. How many times have I said that? But yeah, that's my initial impressions on the Mario movie. I guess I'll post my spoiler review like a week, so that you guys will have more time to see the movie, and so we can talk about all the cool stuff they do. Yeah, that was interesting. So that's it for me then. Have a good one, guys.